us and see the all right. Good afternoon, you guys. How's everybody doing? Sorry for the delay. I was having some issues jumping in. All right. So today we are going to be talking about automation, you guys. So now it's going to be covering everything from starting from picking the products on the platform to having to automate the entire process of your own WhatsApp, and then how you can set up your own automation without having to go through so many stress of having to do it by yourself. I mean, you still have to do it by yourself, but without having to go through so many stress. Yeah. So I'm going to be covering the entire process so that you will be able to understand it. And I would have to say it is a very, very interesting and kind of my voice is down. How about now? Can you guys hear me? How about now? Is it better now? Glory, I do say, is it better now? Let's see. It's better. All right then. We can continue. So as I was saying, I'll be covering the entire process. So first off, I'm going to take it in a step-by-step manner. So we go from the basics down to the more advanced part. So for today, I'm going to be covering your systems, right? Your processes. I'm not sure if I can let me see, whiteboards. I'm not familiar with it, so don't let me start touching it. But if you can, write things down, I'd appreciate if you guys do. If you can write these things down, you might as well start writing it down. So first off, we are going to cover the processes that you would follow, to automate your WhatsApp, and then everything that you need to get started to automate your processes. So that way, how would I say it? This is more like a practical class. So if you have your phone with you, try to document as much of this as you can, because getting to replay might be, well, you'll get to replay, but try to document as much of what I'm saying down right now. So first off, before you decide to promote any product, or before you decide to, well, after you've decided to pick a product, after you've done your target research, after you've done all of these things, the next thing that you need to do is that you need to figure out the process that somebody is going to pass through in order to get to a sale. You understand? In order for you to get a sale, you need to document the processes. So the most common processes is that the person will first, from your landing page, they will land on your WhatsApp, right? And then once they're on your WhatsApp, they go through the lead magnets that you have for them, right? So there's the lead magnets, and then they will let you know, or you would ask them that they should let you know when they are done with these lead magnets. So then you inquire if they are done. Next thing that you want to do is that you want to then start asking them qualifying questions. So is this stuff for you? Are you ready to move forward with this? Blah, 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 blah. Then you do that also. And then at the end of everything, after you've qualified if this person is your target audience, then you move on to closing the sale. So this is like a basic way to segment the processes of your WhatsApp. So first off being that when they land your WhatsApp, well, after they land in your WhatsApp, once they land in your WhatsApp, you need to save their contacts. So that one is also there, save contacts. So land on your WhatsApp, save their contacts, you give them the lead magnets, after they are done, you want to know whether they've gone through this lead magnets. You want to know whether they are, what's it called, whether they are qualified enough to move forward with this, and then you want to close the sale. It's as simple as that. You break it down that way. So now, once you've broken it down in this way, you now want to start figuring out how you can automate this process. So now, when they land on your WhatsApp, to save their contacts would be the first thing that you want to do. You understand? To save their contacts will be the first thing that you want to do. And to save their contacts, yes, there are quite a lot of ways to do this, but I'm going to be focusing on just one, which is the like simplest one that you'd need ever. And this would save their contacts with their real name, so you don't have to worry so much about doing so by yourself. So for you to do this, right, you need to create a link, right? You need to create a link that will send them straight into your WhatsApp. And for you to create that kind of link, you need to like create, how would I say it? Create a phrase or a sentence or a word, perhaps, that this person would say when they land in your WhatsApp DM. And I know a lot of people already do this. And a very, very simple way to do this is by going to wa.link, wa.link. I'm going to put can I share my screen? Let's see. Let me create a new. Yes. Time. Hold on. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to share my screen for you so you be able to follow through what I'm doing and you will not get lost at any point. Desktop 2. Desktop 2. Okay. Ah, shit. I have to quit the meeting and join back in if I'm to share my screen. So, yeah, bummer. So now, let me just continue as I am already doing. So for you to, what's it called? For you to create such a link, you need to use something like wa.link or use like something like Postcron. I think I'll just drop it inside of the chat for you to understand what I'm saying. Or if you don't already know what it is, somebody just drop
Hello,
it in the
Victor.
chat. So yes.
I think if you need to be able to share screen, we should just take the pain to do that.
All right,
so recording this because not everybody will have access to the chats later on. So just take your time, get everything sorted.
All right. All right, perfect. So I'm sure if you guys, can you guys hear me? Perfect. So I'll share my screen now. Just hide this somewhere here. So for you to get such a link, you go to something like postcron.com, right? And this is the what's it called that I use the most. I prefer it to wa.link. I don't know. But to use it is quite simple. You put in, once you get in, this is the website, the win, no, this is the PC website. So on your phone, it might look a little bit different, but it's still the same thing. So you come to the website, postcron.com, just search for Postcron, and then you search for WhatsApp link generator. You see it there, just click on it. The first search that you see, this one is what you go for, or you just go for wa.link. Any one of them will do the same job. So once you get in on this, right? You want to put your phone number, right? Right, you put in the country code and you put in your phone number. So my phone number is 8943768. You understand? And then you put the message. So now, depending on the product that you are selling, right, you want to make it along that line. So let's say I'm trying to sell let me see, a product on the affiliate platform. Let's say I'm trying to sell Ziba affiliate platform. And I say, and I pick a link for the presentation, the webinar presentation. So the welcome message I'm going to put there might be something like, hello, Victor, right? I'm interested in the Ziba presentation webinar, something like that. Right. And the most important part of this is that you want to put a prompt, a very, very small prompt right here that will make the person know that they are supposed to put their name inside of this message. So you put something like, my name is, do you understand? So that when the person clicks on a link from your landing page and they land on your WhatsApp, this is what is going to show up, as you can see right here. You understand? This is what's going to show up. And then the person will now use their common sense, that's if they have any, and then put something like their name, so they can say, my name is James or something. Do you understand? So you need to have something like this. You create the link. So you would now take this link after you've created it, copy this link, and then you use it in whatever website or whatever landing page that you're trying to use. You understand? So if you have this, just copy this and then just keep it somewhere. So what we need, right, is what is it called? Is this link. You understand? Just this link. That's what we need. So now once we have this one, bro, close now. What the fuck's going on? So once we have this, then we can now move on to the next part, which is now automating that particular part of your music or of your WhatsApp. So that when somebody lands into your WhatsApp, right, and then they reply with that, you are easily able to like pick their names from the message and then save their contact. So you can easily pick their names from that message and save it automatically. So I'm going to give you a live demo. You understand? I'm going to give you a live demo. Let me see if I can connect my phone to this and share it with you on the meeting. Or let me just use my phone straight from here. And for you to be able to do this, by the way, you need a few tools. Let me say that. The tools are all on Android. Do you understand? The tools would be your autoresponder and then a particular less known application called Tasker. Do you understand? You're going to be needing those two applications and one more actually, which is called what's the name? Hold on. What screen have I been sharing since? This is the right. So certainly you guys can see my phone screen from here right now. If you can see my phone, just put something in the comments. Can you see my phone screen? You can see it. All right, perfect. Cool. So now on my phone screen, I'm going to be showing you the two applications that you are going to be needing, or the three applications that you are going to be needing actually. So the first one is going to be autoresponder, right? Autoresponder for WhatsApp. And this is a very, 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 very important application for you to have in your WhatsApp if you are trying to be serious as a WhatsApp marketer. So this right here is the first application that you're going to be needing, right? For it makes the entire process of you replying or responding to messages super easy. So you don't have to be the one always having to do these things. You don't have to be the one always having to do these things. So this would help you respond to your messages. And if I should open mine for you, I have lots and lots of messages, a lot of rules here, but not to confuse you guys, I'll be taking it step by step. And the second one is going to be this right here. Taskar, right? So you're going to need this particular application. This paid application, by the way. So this costs 1,417 naira, I guess. So this is the second app that you're going to be needing. And this is a way more powerful tool, but I'll just be going over how you can use it to save your contacts. And then the last particular application that you're going to need is going to be this one right here. Contact task. This will be the third application that you're going to be needing. This is a free application, by the way, so you don't really have to pay for anything. This is a free application. So these three applications are what you are going to be needing to set up your own automation to save these contacts. And I would want you to know that this would only work if you have an Android phone and if, right, your phone can use applications like autoresponder and so on. So if you have a phone that is less than 2 gig, I guess it might not really work for you. And you can use a phone with more than that and it still not work for you because these phones have some phones have how do I say it? They have restrictions. So if you want to know if your phone has restrictions or not, I would advise you to go to my YouTube and watch this particular video because I explained it better there. Do you understand? Explain it better there. You might want to watch this particular video. Where is it? Because I don't have the settings here on my phone. This is a phone that meets the specifications. This particular one, yeah, this one. I'll just copy the link and share it with you guys. So, but for most people, it should work. And if you are not certain if it will work, just watch this particular video that I'm going to put inside of the chat. All right. So as I was saying, once you have these two applications, right, these three applications, this one, and this one, you are good to go. So first thing that you need to do is that you need to create a rule, right? A rule here on autoresponder. And please follow this part very, very, very carefully. And if you don't understand anything, please let me know because I might want to be fast with this or try to go as deep. If you don't understand anything, just let me know. The second app is autoresponder for WhatsApp, and then the last app is contact task. So please, if you don't understand anything, just let me know. You understand? So now let me just continue. Let me close this. Okay. So, shit, I closed the link for the link I generated. Let me see if I can bring it back. I can't. I'll just create a new one. So, phone number 901-894-3768. Cool. Let me put this over. All right, then, now that I've generated this, right, now I have to come here. And for me to do this, I'm going to be using something called a regex. Those of you who are, what was it called, programmers, or you've done a little bit of programming, you should know what regex is. That is regular expression. A regular expression is just, how would I say it? It's just a way that you can create lines of code, do you understand, to do a specific thing. Because autoresponder, most of you might not know, is a very, very powerful tool, right? But it takes some, there's some technical aspects of it, which if you can really, really go into and you understand, you are going to be able to make, like you're going to be able to create so much magic with this particular tool. So I'm going to be making use of a tool of the programming language called regex. So I'm going to give you like what's it called? A CSV file, so you don't have to do it by yourself. But first off, you'd have to create this, right? Instead of trying to do it, let me just copy one and I just edit it. So you guys know how to watch me write code up and down. Just copy one that I have, then paste it. All right. Please make note that I'm using expert pattern matching because with expert pattern matching, you are able to write code on autoresponder. So you're able to write code. So now for this particular message that I'm trying to use, that I'm trying to write, this is the response. Oh shit. This is the message, right? This is the message that I want to turn into a regex code, right? And the way regex works is that you have to create different parameters to be able to let this thing do a specific thing, right? So you have to create certain parameters and use variables to contain this information. So what you're seeing here is that this point means that every single a message must come before this, and the message must be in either capital letter or smaller letter, and it has to be more than a line. Do you understand? Or more than a line or a general line. So now, after this has been triggered, which means that the message has to come before a particular message, which means that if I'm to say, hello, Victor, right? Or hello, Victor, I like to watch the Zebra presentation. That means that something must come. If I'm trying to trigger this, I'd like to watch this particular presentation. Something must come before that, which can be hello, Victor, or anything else. Which means that if I should write this code and I just trigger, I like to watch the Zebra presentation, and I just send a message, it's not going to get triggered. Which means that for you to do this, you would have to just pick something from here, like I'd like to watch the Zebra presentation. My name is, and then you copy this, and then you put this over here. Do you understand? So you will still have this in your message, but it's not just going to be added inside of the code. You get me? And the next thing that you want to do is that you see this. This means that a space can come before the message. It doesn't really, you don't have to put it, you can just remove it and put a normal space. Or for code's sake, I have it here. Do you understand? Because a lot of people might just remove it and not have it inside of the distance. And then here we have a code which says A to Z, A to Z. And this basically means that there has to be a word that is either capital letter or small letter, which means that if the person is to put their name, obviously there are not going to be numbers in the person's name. So it's just going to be letters, which is either going to be in uppercase or in lowercase. Do you understand now? And then this means that anything can come after this particular variable. That means after they put their name, they can put as many things as they want, but it's not going to be inside of this particular variable, right? So this means that there can be either a lowercase or a uppercase letter, and it can be as much as it can, as long as there is no space. So that means that if I put V alone, it's going to get triggered. And if I write something like Victor, it's still going to get triggered. And if I add Victor, James, Ladipo, right, it's still going to get triggered. But it's not going to pick any of these other, it's not going to pick James or Ladipo because we only want this first name. Do you understand? And if you want to have more than one name, you can, but I don't advise it, because after people have noticed that after people put their name, they might just add something silly, and then you don't want to have your contacts saving with other things. So I only want to have their first names, because that's the only thing that matter. And for you too, you might want to just use that one. Do you get? So once you have this, then you now move on to the response. This is the code that we're going to be using for this particular response. That's when they send this message. This is the code that we're going to be using to trigger the response. And I'm going to be giving you a CSV file for this, so you don't have to, like cram all the code that I just said. You don't have to cram it. You don't have to understand it, but just now you need to edit it. So as I said, if you want to use this in your own, you have to make sure that the way this works is that they are capturing groups. So the capturing groups capture information. You understand? So this information right here, this I like to watch this about presentation, is a capturing group, right? And it is capturing this particular phrase. Do you understand? So you want to let the capturing group capture your a part of your response, which is not the full thing, just a part of it, which is going to be like around the ending. So it's going to be something like, I like to watch this thing, my name is. Do you understand? Not the full thing, just have it that way. We can leave it, you can make it as short as you want. It can be just presentation, my name is, can be Zebra presentation, my name is, can be watch, just make it like contain a specific part of the message that you're trying to capture, right? And then after that, it's going to stop as my name is, because as a normal person, once they say my name is, the next thing that's supposed to follow is the person's name. So anything that follows after my name is what you want to capture. Do you understand? So that is going to be the second capturing group, which is going to be this A to Z, A to Z. That is the next capturing group, which is the name that we're trying to capture. Do you understand? So if you want to use this for yourself, just know that you have a part of your message, right, from my name is to wherever you want to stop. Right? That's not the last message. You have it here, and then you have this one as it is. So you're going to have this basically the way that you are going to edit it. So now when you now come here, you want to create your response for the message. Let me just clear this away. We don't need this anymore. So the response for your message is going to be quite, it's going to be along the line of what you want to have it to be. So as I said, if it's still for Zebra presentation, a quick welcome is going to suffice. So let's say hello, and then want to call the person's name. And the reason why we are using this particular regex expression, why we are capturing it, is because once you capture a response from this code, you can use it inside of the message that you are going to be sending them. Do you understand? Which is very, very powerful, because if you want to call them by their name inside of this message, you can easily do that because they have already supplied it in this place. Yeah, they've already supplied it. So now, how do you call out this message inside of autoresponder? And it's quite simple. All you have to do is come here, right? And you see where I just clicked this plus and the label icon. You click on that. Once you click on that, you just click on this capturing group ID for expert pattern matching. Right? Once you click on that, you just change this to capturing group 2. Do you understand? And it is very, very simple because, as I explained earlier, this what's it called? This brackets, which contains I like to watch the Zebra presentation, is the first capturing group, and this one right here is the second capturing group. This right here that has the point and the plus is the third capturing group. Do you understand? So what we want to respond with is the second capturing group, not the third one, not the first one, just the second one. So if we want to pick out what they said after that, we can still do that. We just make this capturing group 2 or capturing group 1. Let me just make this. Let me copy this so you can like see capturing group. All right. All right. So these are going to be, this capturing group 1 is going to be for this one right here, and then this capturing group 2 is going to be for this one right here. Do you understand now? So now, after you have this, let me take this away. I think I might just use it for a test real quick. Let me use this for a test real quick so that you guys can follow through as I'm doing it. Let me save this, right? Drag this up here. Right, let's drag this up here and then let's test this out. So now let's say I want to send this particular message, which is this, right? I send this message. The response is going to be, hello, Victor. I like to watch the Ziba presentation, which is the first capturing group, and then the last capturing group is going to be James Ladipo. Do you understand now? Because this, it just captured it captured the name, used it in the first message. It captured the first capturing group, which is this one right here. I like to watch the Ziba presentation. My name is, and then the last capturing group, which is James Ladipo. So now I need to say I changed it and I didn't use Victor James Ladipo. I used Victor make money online. See, I send this message. The third capturing group is going to be make money online. Do you understand now? So you have to make sure that the what's it called? You are just triggering just the second one. That's the only one that you need. I hope you guys understand now, Sha. So let's take this one away and let's continue our message. Now we say something like nice having you in my DM. Nice having you here. Here's the before I send you presentation. And right. So this right here. Are you guys still following? Are you understanding everything so far before I move into the next part? Are you understanding? Away, hold on. Try to spell everything. How do we get this code? Please, you can't see what you're doing. And I just for us to see. Wahala. All right. Which of them can't you see? Let me know. Not at all. I didn't understand anything. Jesus Christ. Keep it simple. Keep thinking out, please. Away. All right. I'm going to make this as simple as possible for you guys to understand. Do you understand? Yeah. This, you don't have to, let me put it this way. You don't have to learn everything. You don't have to learn everything. I'm just showing you the way it works so that you don't have to learn it. I'm showing you the way it works. So as I said here, it's very, very simple. Put this down. Just put this down, right? It's not hard. Put this down. First thing that you need, the number one thing that you need here is the link. And I've already showed you I've shown you how to generate the link. Do you understand? You need the link and the message in just the format that I gave to you. You understand? So you need that link and then you need that message in that particular format. And the format I'm talking about is this format. Let me paste it so that you will see this one right here. No, you don't have to learn how to code, though. Please. Please, I beg. No, you don't have to learn how to code. So yes, this is the format that I'm talking about. You have to have this hello Victor, hello, your name, obviously, and then what's the content of the message is supposed to be, what the person is coming there to do. So if they are coming for a Ziba presentation, you put it there. If they are coming to get a free training, whatever it is, it's going to be there. And at the end part, it's going to be their name is. Do you understand? Their name is. So using this particular template, I've made it super easy for you to segment this into and use it into code. You can watch it, the play as many times as you want. Bit.ly. Bit.ly does not create WhatsApp links. The website that creates WhatsApp links are Word.link or Postcron link generator. If you now want to shorten the link that you get from those websites, you can now use whichever one that you want. You can use Bitly, you can use Tiny URL, it doesn't matter. It's just what matters is that this particular message is sent in the format that I have here. Sure you get now. So as I said, after you've gotten the link, right, and you've gotten the message in that part, in this particular order, then we come here to put it inside of this regex code. You understand? So the first part, the part that's going to be in this capturing group is going to be the parts from anywhere here. You understand? It can be zipper presentation. My name is I like to watch zipper presentation, but I would just like you to have it like this, the same way I had my own. So it's going to be before you have this salutation, which is hello Victor. Just make sure that there's something before it. So it's not like you just copy the entire hello Victor, I like to watch blah blah blah. No, you don't do that. So you copy something after the salutation and then you have it to my name is, because after they say my name is, the next thing that we want to capture is their name. You understand? Is their name. What code? I'm going to send you the regex code. Don't worry. I'm going to send you. It's going to be in a autoresponder CSV, so you can just import it to your own autoresponder. You understand? You don't have to learn it. It is not. Well, how would I say it? It's simple, but you don't have to. Yeah, regular expression, regex. Eric, you get sense. So once you've done this, you are on your way, and I've showed you like the practical part of what the capturing groups do. It just picks out the capturing group from here, just pick them out so you can use them in your message. That's it. It's very, very simple. I beg. So moving on. Now that we have that, we know that to pick out these capturing groups, we use this particular what's it called, variable called capturing group 2. Do you understand? And then you create your message around that. So now you will just continue. So anytime that you want to put the person's name inside of the message, you just put capturing group 2 there. So you say something like hello capturing group 2 is going to respond with the person's name. So it's, in my own case, it was hello Victor. And then it says, nice having you here. Before I send you the link for this presentation, kindly save my number and reply with done, right? And then the person, and then you say, so after replying done, I'm going to send you the link. But one thing I want you to know, right, is that in this kind of that's not concerning. So once you are doing this, you want to put the person's name as many times as you want, as you can, not as many times as you want, as many times as you can, because how would I say this? WhatsApp can be very, very strict with when you are sending so many similar messages. So most of you guys might have been familiar with getting banned on WhatsApp, and that's when you drive like a lot of leads, drive 1,000 leads, drive that amount of leads, and next thing you see that your WhatsApp account gets banned. And it is just because the messages that you send to these people are always the same. So you might want to write that one down. Don't send the same messages to people over and over and over again. If you are to send 1,000 messages, make sure that 900 or 999 of those messages are not the same. They can be the same, that is in the format that you are sending them, but they should never be the same word for word. Do you understand? So there's the reason why I use this, because when you call out the person's name in the message and you put the person's name inside of the message becomes unique every time that you send it. Do you understand? And then you also want to make sure that your messages are broken down into different parts. So now you see that I made the message, the first message that's going to get sent. The first message that I sent was hello with the person's name. And the next message that I'm going to send is going to be this, nice having you here, blah, blah, blah. Before I send you the link, I say my number, I apply is done. So I can now say something that like this, say, after this, you would get the link to the presentation, and you can start making 9 figures 9 figures hourly. Then you say something like, nice nice to have you here again. Then you put that capturing group 2. Capturing group 2 there once again, and then you are good. Yeah, I mean, it's just a figure of, I'm just using this as a test, so you don't have to, nobody makes 9 figures hourly, so, but you get. So now, as I was saying, yeah, the message now, this is 4 different messages. Most people, when they want to send this type of message, they just send it once. They just send, hello, nice having you, everything in just one message. It is not good. Your WhatsApp account is going to get banned. Send it separately. Make it as long as you can. Send it in 4 different messages. You understand? Send it this one first, send this one second, send this one third, and then send this one fourth. So that when these messages land in the person's DM, it's going to look, number one, as if you are the one that's sending them by yourself. And number 2, it's going to be different. So the first message and the last message are never going to be the same. It's going to contain a specific thing. So let's say I'm sending messages to Olu Richard, I'm sending messages to Hope, I'm sending messages to Abigail. It's always going to be a different thing. It's not going to be the same thing. Do you understand? And then lastly, right, you want to create, what's it called? You want to put delays inside inside of your message. So put something like 1 to 3 seconds delay. That will be good. And then you want to have what's it called? You want to have another delay, which is going to be 5 seconds. And then you want to also, because if you are driving new leads into your WhatsApp DM, you would only want it to save contacts of people that are not saved already. Do you understand? If the contacts are saved, then if the contacts are saved, then you don't really need to save their contacts. So you want to restrict the people that this is going to respond to by putting a plus and a star. And this only means that when a contact enters your WhatsApp and the contact starts with a plus, right, that's the point where it's going to respond. If the contact starts with a letter, which means that the number is already saved, it is not going to respond. Do you understand? Well, don't worry, I'm going to give you a practical explanation now. And everything else from here, you can just leave it as it is. Just leave this as it is. Just leave it as it is. The only thing that you need to understand inside of this is that capturing group 2 is going to call the person's name, right? And then you want to make the messages as separated as possible. And then also you want to make there be delays inside of the message so that you don't just send messages ASAP and everybody knows that you are sending messages automatically. Do you understand? And then you save this. And now I'm going to test this again. Do you get? I'm going to test this again. I'm going to put the message, right, which is here. And one thing that you're going to notice is that one thing that you need to know now is that if I send this message, it is not going to respond. Why? Because this message is being sent as autoresponder. Do you understand? An autoresponder, the way autoresponder's message is going to show up is that this contact is already saved on my phone. So it is not going to respond. So for me to make it respond, right, let me send it so you will see that it's not going to respond at all. Right, this is a previous rule of mine that's triggering, but this is not the rule that I want to trigger. You understand? So now let me switch this and let me put it to a random name. Right, let me put this to a random name and let me send the same message. And me putting it to a random name, you see that this now shows plus 684-655-91, which means that this is just a test for if this is a contact that is not saved on my phone, right? And then I send this same message. Now, we're going to wait for 5 seconds. You would see what the response is going to be. So now, as you can see, it says, hello, Victor, nice having you here. Before I send you the link to this presentation, I only said my number and reply with done. After this, you get the link to the presentation and you can now start making 9 figures hourly. Nice to have you here again, Victor. You understand? So this particular response is like a very, very good way for you to create a, what's it called? For you to create the response for when anybody comes into your DM. So with this like this, you've knocked out 60% of the work that you do when people come into your WhatsApp DM. You don't have to be the one to start telling them to reply with done, blah, 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 blah. You understand? You're able to do this automatically. And we're going to move into the saving of the contacts automatically part. But for now, let's just work on this one. So once they get here, right, there are going to be two things that needs to happen. The first is that their contacts needs to get saved. And the second is that, they have to reply with done, right? They have to reply with done. So, and you're free to like send them the link, they land in your WhatsApp DM. It doesn't have to be when they reply with done. But me, I prefer if you do like WhatsApp status marketing, you would want them to save your contacts. Do you understand? You want them to save your contacts so that they can view your status. So you might want to make this step necessary. But if you don't really care, you can just send them the link straight when they land in your WhatsApp, and then you go and watch the video without having to save your contacts. But I would advise you to tell them to go through this process, because a lot of people, the way you know if some people are like qualified audience is that if they follow instructions. If they find it super difficult to follow a simple instruction like done, then I don't really think that they are qualified enough to buy a product. That's just the way I see it. And another thing is that because of this presentation, that's the reason why I'm using done. I would not advise you to use done. Do you understand? I will not advise you to use done. I will also not advise you to use saved. And the reason for that is that a lot of people, right, have gotten super used to the idea of just replying done and saved, that you can tell them to reply done and they will reply saved. Or you can tell them to reply saved and they will reply done. So telling them to reply this done is too ambiguous for my liking. It's too fucking common. So I would not want you to use that particular word. I want you to use something more unique. So instead of using done, you might want to use something like Ziba presentation, right? Or webinar. In fact, I would prefer if you just use webinar instead of Ziba presentation, because Ziba is kind of like a word that most of them might not get. And presentation is quite long. When you are doing these things, you have to put in consideration that a lot of people are not as smart as you want them to be. Do you understand? And it's not being harsh or being too much of like being too harsh on people or trying to downplay on their intelligence. No, we have to put into consideration that most people are not going to be as smart as you want them to. So it is very, very important that you make it as simple as possible. And even though you are making it as simple as possible, you don't make it so simple that any person can go through your funnel. You understand? You don't make it so simple that any person can just come into. You make it simple enough that the person can go through the funnel. That's the person that has a little bit of sense can go through the funnel, but you don't make it so simple that just anybody can go through the funnel. Do you understand now? So you make it something like webinar. So when they send the message webinar, then they'll move on to the next step, because you are not going to be, if somebody that you told to send webinar does not send webinar, they send done, you know that this person is just a goat. I did not tell you to send webinar, to send done, you are sending done. You understand? You specify that they send webinar. So when they send webinar, right, it saves you the stress of having to like start correcting them. Some might even send you a sticker. They might send you an emoji. So these are not things that you want. So you cannot be going through, like you want to make it as automatic as possible, right? Yes, I'm not going to be the one that's going to be sending you the screen recording. It's going to be in whatever group Mr. Sam decides to send it. I don't know. Don't really know, but the recording is going to be available. Don't have to worry about that. So as I said, you want to make it as simple as possible, but not as simple that any person, just any person is going to come into your funnel and just go in and mess things that you spent hours automating, just come in and then they just rubbish everything. So don't do that. Make it a little bit hard, but not too hard. So when you send that particular word webinar, then you can now like continue the process. So I'm going to create another rule for that. Or wait, let me create another rule for that. So I'll create a rule that's going to be webinar. Or I'll give you guys an hack. You understand? I'll give you guys an hack. For most people, yeah, they might just not know how to spell webinar. So for this particular thing, when you want to work with something like this, you create different instances of the same particular word. Do you understand? So you just say something, you just put this to what is it called? To pattern machine, and then you just put this to web, and then you just leave a asterisk after it. You put a asterisk after it. Do you understand? And what this means is that as long as they type something that starts with web, their account is going to respond to the message. Do you understand? As long as they type something that responds with web. And for you to do this, and it will work super perfect for you, I will not give you any headache. You have to make sure that you have something inside of your rule, and it's going to be you guys should remind me. It's not going to, you guys will not understand it now if I'm to explain it. But let me just go through. Let me create this finish, right? Let me finish creating this, and then I'll show you what I mean. You understand? I'll show you what I mean. It comes in when we are saving the contacts. Jesus. All right. It is a way to differentiate, right? So not when anybody that is not that particular set of people in your WhatsApp send that message, it's not going to get triggered. It's only going to get triggered for the people that come in through your funnel that you just save their contact. It's not going to trigger for everybody else. So if anybody else in your WhatsApp should send you the word webinar, right, it's not going to get triggered. It's only going to get triggered for that specific set of people that you just save their contacts. Do you understand? So please remind me, Abigail, I think I already mentioned it. So just send a message and I'll just explain to you. Because this is 1:17 by 2 o'clock. I want to bounce. All right. So when they send the message webinar, then you just put in the response, which is going to be all right, blah blah. All right. Thanks for that. And then another thing is that all right, hold on. I would write it down so that you guys, I will not forget. Write it down. No wahala. So all right, thanks for that. And then we'll put in the last one, which is going to be, here's the link to the presentation. Then you put a link here. Yes, Olamide, you are going to get the link to the presentation. And then the last message is going to be, let me know when you go, when you watch this. Let me watch this by sending. All right. All right. So now, once the person now sends the word webinar, right? You send them the link to the webinar, and then you also tell them that once they are done with this webinar, and yours might be a page, might be a image, a video, doesn't matter. Just the thing that you need to have in mind is that once they have done what you need them to do, they have to signify that they have done so. You understand? You have to signify. Why? Is because when you want to respond to them, you want to know the people that have done so. You want to like reduce the time, as I said yesterday, that you would spend doing things that don't give you so much leverage. You understand? You have to reduce the time that because so now you don't have to be the one to ask them whether they have watched the video or they have not. They're going to be the one to tell you that they have watched it by themselves. So you need to have this particular message inside of your response after you send them the link. So you want them to know that if you have watched this video, please let me know that you have watched it, that you don't have to be the one to start asking them the question. So now you have this here. Right, so let me just save this and let me just move this also to the top so that we don't have any problems looking for it. You understand? So we have the two rules that we've created. So before we move on, like on this autoresponder at all, I would be doing the automation to save the contacts. You understand? We're going to be doing the automation to save the contacts so that I don't have to keep going back to it. I'll just do the automation to save the contacts right where you can see it. And then we'll move on into the last part of this automation, or we can move on. So I'm going to create a new profile. Let me see, Ziba class. All right. So for this one right here, we're going to be setting up one thing, which is we are going to set up a profile, an event that would get triggered when a particular message in autoresponder has been triggered. You understand? So that means that the moment that that particular message enters into your WhatsApp, right, and autoresponder gets triggers to that message and sends a response, it will send a trigger to the task application. So it's like they are sending the triggers to each other. So once it sends the trigger to Tasker will send the trigger to another program. So it will take the name from the message, that is from the capturing group 2 message, right? It's going to take that name, send it to another plugin, which will then save the contacts. So the plugin that we're going to be using first is going to be autoresponder, obviously, because that's where we're going to take in the trigger. So we want to select the rule, which is the first rule right here. This is the one right here, the one that I just created. I like to watch the zipper presentation. My name is. So we select this profile, this rule, and then we go back, and then we create a new task. Do you understand? I'm going to be creating it from scratch so that I'll give you a link for it so you don't have to create it from scratch. But I'm just going to create it from scratch for you guys so you understand what I'm doing. All right, so moving on, I would say Ziba contact save. Ziba save. Let's call it save. All right. So inside of this, we want to create a simple rule that is going to get triggered, that's going to pick out the regex from the message. So it's going to be called simple match / regex. You don't need to know everything that I'm doing though, because I can already imagine you guys are you're filling up the charts and all that. You don't need to understand everything I'm doing. I'm just showing you so that you would like follow. You don't have to understand. I'll give you everything in a done for you template, so you can just edit what I'm going to tell you to edit inside of it. So you don't have to stress so much. So now we have a regex, which is the regular expression. So we are going to have to copy the regular expression code that I created, and we just copy this, right? Copy this, and then we take it here inside of this regex and we paste it. So that means that it would use this regex to okay. Yes. So you take this regex text that I used in this rule and to use it as a precursor for the task that we are working with right here. You understand? So let me just go back. This is the thing that we have right here. So inside of this regex task, inside of this task, it would pick out the variables and to save them inside of its own variable, because on autoresponder it was called capturing groups, right? On Tasker, it's no longer going to be called capturing groups. It's going to be called empty groups, as you can see right here. It's going to be called empty groups. So what do we want to do? We want to save the contact that is inside. We want to save the contact that sends us a message with the name that is inside of the capturing group 2, which is then. You are not doing this on a laptop, you are doing it on your phone. This is my phone. Oh. Are you guys, do you know guys, are you guys aware that this is my phone? I'm doing it on my phone. I'm just using my laptop to control my phone. You get? I'm using my laptop to control my phone. I'm not doing it from my phone. Like, I'm not doing it from my laptop. It's kind of confusing, but I'm doing it from my phone. This is my phone right here. You guys can see, this is my phone. I'm just not using my phone. I'm not pressing my phone. I just mirror the screen here so I can use it on the laptop so that you guys can see, obviously. Then you understand. If you understand, please let me know before you start thinking that you have to use a laptop for this. Just send a message. If you are not understanding anything, please send a message, because I think everybody understands. I think everybody understands. So let's move on. So after we've had the regex here, next thing that we want to do is that I want to use a plugin that is going to now save this contact. Because as I said, right, don't worry, Precious, you will find yourself. You and Salako, now go find yourself. Don't worry. Oh wow. There's going to be what? I mean, yes, if you want to, Abigail, if you want to mirror your phone, you can. I mean, but I don't see the reason why you need to. I don't see the reason why you need to. But you can, why not? So moving on. Yes. Let me go back so I can explain to you. It's not, don't see, it's complicated. Yes, I understand. It's complicated. Don't worry. You would get every single thing in a done for you template, so you can edit it, according to my explanations here. Do you understand now? It is complicated. Cool. You don't have to learn everything from scratch. You don't have to learn the regex. You don't have to learn anything. Just take what I'm going to be giving you and use this video that I recorded to edit it to fit your own. That is all. You get? So let's move on. Oof. All right. Moving on, you would then use, once you've gotten this simple match / regex to pick out the name of the person, to get the empty groups, to get the capturing groups and turn them here into empty groups. Next thing that we want to do is that we want to, first of all, take the number of the person that sends us a message through autoresponder. Autoresponder will pick out the name of the person, the message number of the person, and then autoresponder will also send over all of the capturing groups, the content of all of the capturing groups to Tasker. So what we want to do is that we want to use Tasker to trigger the third application that I told you guys to install, which is Contacts Task. So it's going to send all of those data to Contacts Task, and Contacts Task will then do what? To then save these contacts into your phone. Do you understand? So the moment the message enters, the transaction goes on like that. Sends, autoresponder sends to Tasker, Tasker sends to Contacts Task, and before you know it, your contact is already saved. So you would come here the same way we use plugin, just click on plugin, and then we click on Contacts Task, and then we click on Add Contacts, right? And then we click on the pencil icon. So the name is going to now be the empty groups 2. You understand? So this is the same thing as capturing group, because in autoresponder, you use capturing group 2 to call out the name. But in Tasker, right, you are going to use empty groups 2 to call out the name. So instead of calling out the person's name in Tasker, you would call it here and it would save the contacts. This is what is going to save the contacts with. And I would also, like, this ties back to what I said I was going to explain earlier, is that you have to have a tag for the particular, every single contact that you saved, so that you can easily recognize them, because names are very, very common, right? I have more than 33 Victors on my phone. 33, I have more than 100 Victors on my phone, right? And if you have Victors, very, very, and if you want to send these guys messages, you want to send them a follow-up, you might not know And if you search for Victor, you just start seeing so many Victors, and you don't know which Victor is which. You understand? What you want to do is that you want to add a tag to each and every single name. So now we have, this is a ZBar presentation funnel, right? What I would advise you to do is that you put something to let you know that these people came from ZBar. So you just say Z, Z, and P. You understand? Z and P just stands for ZBar presentation. You can say ZWP, ZBar webinar presentation, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. Just have this particular thing there. So after he saves their name, he's going to add this ZWP inside of the name. You understand? So that will serve as a tag for you to use. Hold on, please. Let me get some more, please. I closed down the bond, but don't worry. It's all for the good betterment. So as I was saying, you have the ZWP here so that you totally understand. You easily contact as a group first. What? I used my last 1K to buy water, guys. Send money. So I don't understand what you mean by collect the number as a group first. I don't understand. You understand? So now that we have the capturing group that contains the name right here, the next thing that we want to put here is going to be the number of the person. So the way that what's it called? That autoresponder is going to send the name to Tasker is going to be in sender. So it should be right here. I think no, it is not here. But all you have to just do is put a percentage and then add sender. Right, this is it. This is going to be the variable that's going to contain the person's name. And if you've like noticed the pattern, right, you will notice that every single variable that contains a specific set of information, right? We can transfer as a group. I don't understand what you are saying, Abigail. So you notice that every single variable that contains any set of data or information starts with a percentage, right? This starts with percentage, this starts with percentage, this right here starts with percentage. Why am I saying percentage? Percentage, damn. This starts with a percentage, you get? You get? So everything starts with a percentage. I see you, Mr. Chris. Percentage, right? So as they have a percentage, yes, it makes it easy for the applications to know that this is a variable. It contains a specific data. So if anything has a percentage, that means that there's a data lying inside of this variable. Do you understand? So moving on, yes, if you want to, you now get all of these other parts of this, the emails, the notes, the websites, not really any of your concern, right? The last thing that you want to do is that you want to add your own email. That is the email that you want this contact to save to. You understand? You need to add an email that you want this contact to save to. And if you don't add an email, it's not going to save to any email. It's just going to save to your phone, right? My social media handles. Abigail, I am not active on any social media handle. I beg. I'm only active on WhatsApp. And on WhatsApp, I just catch cruise. So as I said, don't worry, you would get my phone number. Most of you guys will get my phone number. My YouTube, yes, I'm active on YouTube actually. I think I sent a link. It's not that hard. Just search for my name, Victor James Ladipo. Anywhere that you want to look for me, you'll find it there, apart from WhatsApp. Sure. So moving on, as I said, accounts, you put your email account. And for you to do that, very, very simple. Just click on this search icon right here. You will see all of the emails that you have on your phone. Just click on the one that you want to save your contacts to, and you click on OK. So as you see here, this is my email, jamesvictor997@gmail.com. If you want to save to your phone, which I don't recommend, you can just leave this blank. Diggers, but I would advise you to save these contacts to your Gmail so that if anything happens, you can easily get these contacts back. So once you have all these three things set up, the first one is ZWP for Ziba webinar presentation, right? Or anything else that you want, basically. And then you have the phone number as sender, right? This is going to be the same thing for most of the funnels that you're going to be using. So it's better for you to leave it like this. And then the account is going to be your email, which you are going to get by clicking on this search icon right here. So I'm going to send you, what's it called? A template of exactly what I did here, right? So the only thing that you're going to be editing inside of this is going to be the ZWP, right, for your tag, and the account, which is going to be your email. That's the only two things that you're going to be editing here. You don't need to touch anything else. So you get. So once we have this set up, right, you just save it, and you go back, right? And then just to know that your contact has been saved, you had a flash. If the WhatsApp automation one is uses not to respond, I can task. No, actually no. The way this works is that you cannot use this with automation. No. The way this works, as I said earlier, is that these are all plugins. I think I did not explain it very well. These are all plugins, and these plugins are all connected to each other by their producers, you understand, by the creators of the applications. So all I'm doing is that I'm linking these plugins to each other to do a specific set of tasks. You understand? So autoresponder can be linked to Tasker, because if you go to autoresponder, oh shit, let me bring this back here. If you go to autoresponder, let me say this, right? You would see here that Tasker is there, which means that it can be linked to Tasker. So if there's any other application that I want to use with Tasker, if you should go to the documentation of that application, you are going to be able to find that this application can be used with Tasker. Do you understand? So for Wamation is a web-based service, not a physical-based service. Like, it doesn't work from your phone. This one works from your phone, right? Wamation is a cloud-based service, works with your WhatsApp on the web. So you cannot connect the two of them together. And frankly, I am not like the best person to talk to when it comes to Wamation, because I've not used it before. For just to answer your question, you cannot use it. It's just with autoresponder. Autoresponder will work with Tasker. I'm not sure if other applications like auto reply work, because I don't use them. The one I use is autoresponder. Frankly, it's still the best, and it has a lot of advanced feature. If you want to dive deeper into it, you can do that. It's very, very rewarding. So I would advise you to do that if you have the time. But if you don't have the time, you can use this. Is there a way out for people whose phone does not? I mean, sadly, there's no way out for you guys. Sadly, there's no way out for you guys, because it's either, right? No. Okay, before I say that there's no way out for you guys, listen here. The first thing is that Whatbox Sender. No, you can't use Whatbox Sender with it. The same thing that you do with Whatbox Sender, you can do it with Tasker. It just requires a much more understanding of the application. You understand? So as I was saying, if you use an Android phone that you cannot use autoresponder with, that is, when you install autoresponder, it tells you that the notification intercept permission is not available, or it is not on this particular device, then you cannot use this automation. But if you can use autoresponder, but it is working, maybe it will work, it will stop, it will stop working, it will work for some days, or you will turn it on, but it will just not work, then your whole situation is different. You understand? And there are some phones that use 1 gig, 2 gig RAM that have that permissions that you can use autoresponder on. But because of the state of the RAM, it is epileptic. That means you can work for some time and it will stop working. If that is you, right, the video that I shared on my YouTube, or if you go to my YouTube and you look at the last video, you would see a setting that you can turn on, or some settings that you can turn on to make sure that this particular stuff, that your autoresponder would working forever. That is, it's not going to stop. Do you understand? So if it is working but it is stopping, then that video is for you. Or if you want to be sure that this work for you, just watch that video and then you can come back to this one, or just watch this one and then go to that one. Anyone that you want to do, it's up to you. So you get. Would we send the YouTube link? Hold on. Do I still have? Hold on, come. Okay, here you go. I've sent the YouTube link again. My name on YouTube is still my real name, my full name, Victor James Ladipo. So it's not something extra. Victor James Ladipo. He gets, hold on. All right, so as I was saying, Jerry, let's continue. You can do it with your autoresponder. Yes, you can. Bear in mind that what I'm using is a pro feature in autoresponder, which means that if you use a normal, regular, unpaid version of autoresponder, you are not going to be able to use expert pattern matching, or you will not be able to use expert pattern matching. So if you have the money, I would advise you to go and pay for autoresponder. Do you understand? I think it is no longer a one-time payment. It's now a yearly, slash monthly payment. So it's kind of like 7K, 3K, I think 14K yearly. I'm not certain how much the price is currently, but it should be around that. You get. And if you want to, that's if you don't have the money or circumstances, you might download the mod application, that is the modified one, and you'll still be able to use it fine. But I would advise you, once you do have the money, go and pay for the official one, you get, because it is a business, you get. Set the level 3 contact server. What do you mean by level 3 contact server? Combo tree. Do you mean combo tree? Confused. Abigail, you asked the greatest questions. Okay. Yes, I guess. Yes, it is a part of it. So before I waste so much time, this is already 1:42. Let's continue the stuff so that we can move on to the next part, which is automating. I don't think we are going to be able to do that one today. We'll do it tomorrow, and then the next tomorrow, I'm going to talk about how you can follow up on your prospects in a very, very automated manner. So once you've done this, right, that means once this part, so I'll give you the rundown again. So the first thing is that once the particular rule that we set has been triggered and it triggers this particular regular expression that we have here, right? The next thing that it's going to do is that it's going to pick the capturing groups that have the data, and it's going to save it. That's what this task is going to do. And then the next thing that we want it to do is that we want it to alert us that this contact has been saved. You can easily like remove it. There are so many ways that you can do this. First is that you can put, no, you can't do it with a free version. So now we just put something like empty groups 2 has been saved. So you just do something like this has been saved. Do you understand? So what this would do is that once the contact has been saved, it will just show us a pop-up that would say empty groups 2 has been saved. You can be creative with this and use something like say, and you say something like the same thing, which is going to be, Chris, you get sense, chop. You can't build a premium brand on freemium. Get. So you can just do the same thing and say something like empty groups 2 has been saved. But this one is just overkill, Sha. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do this. Let me just remove this. You don't need to do it. Don't need to do this. All right. So these are the 3 things that you need inside of this task. Right. And once you've done that, just save this. Right. Let me rename this to Ziba test formula. All right. So once you've done this, right, I'm going to go back to the test part of the message. And now I'm going to test this same message that I sent before. Do you understand? Which is, hello, Victor, I like to watch this thing. I need this. And as you see right here, this is on what's it called, on a random name which contains plus 831 blah, 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 right? And when I send this message, it waits for 5 seconds, right? And you see, hello, Victor, nice having you here. Before I send the link, can you see my number? I play it on and start, blah, blah, blah. And you would see here that says Victor has been saved. Can you see it? If you saw it, well, yes, and then we'll move into my phone contacts, right? And all I have to do is just search for Victor or Victor. As you see, there are quite a lot of Victors here. There are quite a lot of Victors here. But the Victor that we're looking for is Victor ZWP. And as you see it, here it is, saved on my phone as Victor ZWP. And you see it here, which is, it is still the same plus 831,290, blah, blah, which is here, plus 83169, blah, 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 blah. Sure you guess now. So with this, your contacts, as they come and they go through this particular system, they are going to get saved automatically. So now, it now goes into them. Yes, it can work on Infinix, it can work on Infinix phones. You just need to make sure that your Infinix passes through the requirements. And for you to be sure that it passes through the requirements, just watch the video that I shared inside of the group. It's going to be the last video. If you go to my YouTube now, it's going to be the last video that you see there. But by tomorrow, there are going to be 2 new videos on the channel, so you might want to check it now. But you still see it's how to use automation on your device. That's the name of the video. So just watch that video and you understand. So now going to the next part of this training, which is now that they would now respond with webinar. So as I said, we want to change this done to webinar. So it's no longer going to be done, it's going to be webinar. So now once these guys reply with webinar, what do we want to happen? We want to take them through, we want to send them the link, right, to the webinar. You understand? And let me just, as I said earlier, right, I want to be able to differentiate the message, the people that the contacts are, that their contacts just got saved, so that they don't get responded to if they are not that specific set of people. And I'll put it inside of, I'll put it in very, very simple terms. Do you understand now? Very, very simple terms is that if this person does not have the tag that is ZWP, this is not going to, the rule is not going to get triggered. So how do you do that? It's the same way that I did the previous one, and is that I'm going to create a specific contacts rule, which means that if the person has the word ZWP in their name, that is only when this rule is going to get triggered. And your own can be anything else. Your what's it called can be anything else. It doesn't have to necessarily be ZWP. If you decide to save your contacts with FWJ or DLQ or CLG or RU, you can use anything that you want. Here you get. Which group did you share the video? Sonic. What? Sonic. Damn. So once you have this specific contacts tag there, just add the tag that you added to your, well, what's it called? The tag that you added here, right? You just add it inside of the specific contacts. And once you've done that, right? Once you've done that, that's all you need to do. Just save it. So now, once I go to test it again, and I want to send, and I want the message to get triggered, all right? I want the webinar message to get triggered. All I'm going to do is put this to a custom name. Before I do that, I would want you guys to understand that once the person goes into, once the person like triggers this first rule and their contacts get saved, right? Some of you might be wondering, why don't I just create it as a sub menu and let the thing continue? And it is very, very simple, because autoresponder works in a very, very specific way, which means that it creates identifiers for each person. My YouTube channel name is Victor James Ladipo. It's still my name, Victor James Ladipo, right? So once that identifier should change or the name of the person should change, it will stop replying. You understand? It will take the person as a new contact. So now let's say the person that was responding was my phone number, which is 234, right? And then the number just changed to Victor James Ladipo. Number is going to stop the stuff because because to it is no longer replying to 234, it's now replying to Victor James, which is a new person. So you cannot use a submenu. You have to make it its own new rule. And then because you are making it its own new rule, you have to make sure that it's only responding to people that their contact has already been saved. Do you understand? So what I'm saying in essence is that once their contact shows, like it would only respond to them once their contact shows up as saved on your WhatsApp. So now the reason why I'm doing this is because sometimes your WhatsApp, if you are driving a lot of leads into your WhatsApp, it is not going to show up as saved immediately. Like if you go and check your contacts, you will see that it has been saved. But if you check your WhatsApp, it's not going to show that it has been saved. Do you understand? So what does that now mean? That if the contact has not showed up as saved and the person should send you the message webinar, right? And it should respond. If the contact should now show up as saved in the middle of the response, it is going to stop responding. That is what I'm saying. So for you to avoid that, you will need to make sure that it is only going to respond to people that the contact has showed up as saved so that you avoid problems in the middle of the conversation. You don't want the messages to be sending and it's just stop in the middle. It's not going to be good for you or good for the person that you're sending it to because you have to do it by yourself. So and that's the reason why I am putting these specific contacts here so that you don't have to stress yourself to do it later on. Show you guys now. If you understand what I just said, please and please just tell me that you understood. And if you don't understand, let me know. I beg. Understood. Nice. Nice. Cool. Yeah, Zeph. Good. Right. Yeah, perfect. Paper. Don't worry. You guys will understand. So now, let me finish what I'm doing. All right. We have a very a tie between the people that understand and the people that don't understand. Right. Don't worry. When you watch the replay, I'm sure you guys will understand better. And if you need my help, I'm still going to be here tomorrow. So don't worry, I'm going to give you guys an assignment. That one does not concern. I'm going to give you an assignment. So by tomorrow, you can just submit your assignment. Don't worry. I'm not showing you guys strategies to close client or I beg. I'm going to be doing that one later on. But right now, we are not doing any strategies. We are still talking about automating the funnel, not strategies. You get. So as I said, Gary, let's continue. Right? Is that I said my channel name is Victor James Ladipo. Ladipo is my surname. Victor James Ladipo. Victor James Ladipo.
Open your YouTube channel on the browser on the computer.
Okay. Let me do so. YouTube. You can use whatever WhatsApp you want for WhatsApp this thing. You can use whatever WhatsApp you want. Doesn't really matter which one you are using. You can use WhatsApp Business, you can use normal WhatsApp. Doesn't matter. But for more, what is it called? All right, can you see? I'm not sure. Wait. Can you guys see the screen without all of these pop-ups that are on it? Can you see it? Because I don't want to close this meeting pop-ups and image pop-ups that I'm seeing. All right. So if you can see it, this is it right here, Victor James Ladipo. And then this is the video that I'm telling you guys to watch. This how to use automation on your device. You understand? You see other videos I have, these are the other videos I have, but this is the video that you really need to go and watch how to use automation on your device. You understand? So, and that is going to be that. If you want to watch other videos, there are quite a few of them here, right? And also, we're going to be updating it with like 5 more videos this week. So that's like a big thing. You can subscribe and, when those ones come out, you'll be able to, see what it is all about. So now let's move on so that we don't take so much time. So now after you've done this, right, and you've set it up so that it only responds to people that their contacts are already saved, and not just people that their contacts are already saved, people that their name contains the tag that you added, then you can now save this. So once you've saved this, right, and you want to test it out, and you want it to, and I want to test it out. Now, I'm not just going to say Victor, right? I'm not just going to say Victor. I'm going to say Victor ZWP, right? As this is the only point where it's going to save the contact, it's going to reply. So now let's say I send where the, right, you see, it responds immediately that it says, all right, thanks for that. There's the link to the presentation, then the link, and it says, let me know if you've watched this by sending me the message. I have watched the presentation. Enjoy. You understand? So now, as you've done this, you can now create, once the person gets the link, then the next part of it is that they will tell you that they have watched it, and then the next part of the conversation is going to be, do you have a question? Is there anything that you don't understand? Is there an objection? Are you ready to make payments? Blah, 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 like that. But I'm not going to be going into that one today. That's not going to be today's topic. The topic of going through conversations is quite a lengthy one, and I don't think I'm going to be able to cover everything today. So it's going to be tomorrow, and then the day after tomorrow, we're going to be talking about how you can follow up your prospects and close your sales. Right? Tomorrow is going to contain how you can close your sales also, but this is going to be, I've covered 3 things today, which is like the basics. So the first is that you get the link, right? You get the link. And once you've gotten the link, you automate the process by creating a regex code to automate the responses when they come into your WhatsApp. You would also create the same thing to save the contacts, right? This right here, save the contacts. And then the next thing that you do is that you want to create a response that would only trigger for people that have gone through, that have saved, that their contacts has already been saved, so that it doesn't trigger for any other people in your WhatsApp, right? So tomorrow, right, I'm going to be showing you how you can now create a full conversation, do you understand? A full automated conversation from A to Z of what the person is going to say or what you are going to say, from when the person lands your WhatsApp to when you want to decide that you want to close the sale or where you want to come in. So my assignment for you guys, because it's not going to be nice if I did all of this explaining, and you guys do not have any practical to do. Okay, guys, let me give you guys the practical things that I need you guys to do. So first off, right, I want you guys to create links, right? I want you to create links for your own funnels. Right, let me just put it right in all this funnel is required. Funnel. What do you mean by all this funnel is required? Jesus. So the first thing that you need to do is that you need to create a link for your funnels. You understand? So it's going to be in the same format as this one right here. You get this. I like to watch this presentation. My name is. So we are going to create a link in this format. And for you to create that link, you know that you just use that word.link or postcon.com, right? And then the next thing that you want to do is that you want to add them, you want to format them inside of this regex code that I added. So I'm going to send you the text and also the CSV file. I'm not sure where I'm going to drop that, or maybe I'll just create a Google Drive link and upload it there, something like that. So you format them inside of this regex code, right? And then next thing that you want to do is that you want to, let me see, how much of this can you guys actually do? All right. I want you guys to also segment your entire funnel, right? Your entire funnel, and break it down into different parts. that can be automated. I want you to go through each or every one of them that can be automated. So I want you to go through your own funnel for whatever product that it is that you're promoting. I don't want you to start going through all of these ones one by one. Just want you to take your own water funnel and I want you to dissect it. Yes, don't dissect it and then go through the ones that you think that you can automate every single one of them, or how you can automate each and every step, you understand, of your WhatsApp funnel. So once you do that, that will be just these 3 things that I will need you to do. You understand? Once you do those 3 things, once you segment your entire funnels, if you are using autoresponder, it doesn't matter. You can just continue from where you don't have to create or process and show or explain. No. All right. No, autoresponder cannot send bulk messages. That's not autoresponder's job. Autoresponder is just a plugin for responding to messages, not a plugin for sending broadcast messages. Do you understand? So if you don't know, the way autoresponder works is that there is a trigger and then there's a response. So autoresponder does not work without a trigger. So that means that if I want to send a message to you, right, for me to send that message to you, you have to send me a message first. Do you understand? No, you cannot. Yes, you can, but autoresponder, no. Autoresponder is not the one that's going to, as I was saying, right, listen very well. The way it works is that autoresponder takes the trigger and sends a response. So the trigger, which is going to be the message that you set, can now be used to do so many things. You can use the trigger to send images, video, PDF, anything that you want, or send a broadcast message. But as I said, autoresponder is not going to be the one that was going to do that job. So it is just going to work as a plugin to trigger another plugin. So you get now, because for a contact to get saved, the person has to send you a message that matches a particular regex code. So that here is the trigger. So what it will now do with that trigger is that it's going to send this set of messages and it's going to send the trigger to Tasker, which then sends the trigger back to contact task, which saves the contacts. Do you understand? So for you to be able to do anything like sending files, images, audios, blah, 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 you have to use autoresponder as the trigger, not the this in itself. I'm getting a call. Sure, you get now. So the assignments, let me send it here into this thing. So you have the link inside the link in the format that I created, this particular code, this regex format, right? No. You create the link. You need to download the app of autoresponder. Yes, you do. You do need to download the autoresponder app. But for this particular thing, you don't really need to. Let me send you the, what's it called? The regex code here. Or let me just create a Google Docs file. Just doc.new. So I just add it there. So first is the links. So the links are war.link. And then we have postcron.com. Yes. Another thing that we need to do, very, very important, is that another thing that we need to do that's very, very important is that I just remembered right now, Seth, is that some people, right, would not put their name when you tell them to do so, which is going to be very, very annoying, because why? The response is not going to get triggered for them. You understand? They are not going to get triggered. So you get now. So What does that now mean? Which means that for that particular thing to happen, right? For that particular thing to happen, you have to, hold on, guys. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to respond to a goat real quick. All right. Let me answer to your questions later when I'm done with this. So let me just package everything here so that I don't have to do so again. So these are the links to generate what's it called? The links to generate WhatsApp link. This is the link that you're going to use to generate the WhatsApp link. Isn't life beautiful? So now, once you have this, yeah, the next thing that you want to do, that you want to format it into this regex code. So the regex code is this right here. Sorry, this is the regex code right here. Are they missing, guy? Yeah. Later. All right, so you can, this is the, what's it called? This is the regex code. So you can use this to format the stuff, like just take whatever you get from this and just format it right here, just like I showed you. If you don't understand, you can watch the, what's it called? What's the name of it? The recording, so you understand what I'm trying to say. You get. So now, once you have these two things, what's the last thing I told you guys to do? Then you want to break down your WhatsApp into different processes, and I think I explained it earlier, right? I explained it earlier, which is like from when they come into your WhatsApp to when they get the lead magnets, to when they get the, what's it called? So when you qualify them, all of those stuff, you get. So you want to break your own WhatsApp funnel into that, because if you are not a newbie, then you should already know this, right? And if you are a newbie, then I will advise you to break it down. So you take everything down into different stages. So when they come to your WhatsApp, you save their contacts, you send them a link, you tell them to send you you qualify them. Once you qualify them, you ask them if they have any objections. You want to know whether they have the money to pay for this thing, whether they are interested in paying, or whether they have anything stopping them from making payments. You get. So you want to know all of this. So just break everything down, your whole funnel. It's not because of me, it's because of going through this, you will need to break everything down. So it's better you just break it down now, and then you're able to follow me when you're able to actually follow tomorrow when I'm doing everything live in front of you guys. Here you get. So that is going to be that for today. So now let's move into the next thing. If they don't put their name, So as I said earlier, a lot of people, right, might not be as smart as you want them to be, which can be a headache for you if you are not careful. Do you understand now? So for you to do this, for you to combat them, that is people that they don't do what you tell them to do, is very, 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 very simple, right? All you have to do is that you have to create a second rule, right? A second rule that's going to trigger specifically when they don't add their name. Oh shit. I'll have to create this again. So the message is going to be, hello, Victor. I'd like to watch the Do you understand? My name is. So when a person sends this exact message, right, they don't add a name, they just come into your WhatsApp and they just drop this message inside your DM, right? You want them to know that number one, that they've done something that they did not do, which is that you say, hey, there. To tell them nice having, you tell them, well, these are all just, you can easily skip this and say, oh, can you copy the message you sent and add your name to it, so you get responded to according. All right, so let me put a little bit of context there. Thing. So this particular message, right, as you see, when the person sent this hello Victor, I like to watch the Zebra presentation. That is the way that the link is, but they don't add their name. So that means just click the link, they get to the WhatsApp and they click on send, they don't bother to add their name. Now say something like, hey there, you were supposed to add your name after my name is, but you did not. So for you to get responded to accordingly, can you copy the message you sent and add your name to it so that you can get responded to accordingly, right? And then you can now add like a message that will say something that will show them what's supposed to look like if you want to, or you might, if you don't want to, you can decide not to do so, because truth be told is that some people might just be so much so much in a hurry that they just forgot to do so, or they are just goats out to waste your time that are not even going to do what you are saying. So for you to know whether they are actually straight human beings or they are, you have to put this there so that you don't waste your needs. Yes, some of them are going to waste regardless, but you just have to make sure that you reduce the waste as much as possible. You get. So now you make the specific contacts the same as the last one, which is going to be people that their contacts are not saved, right? And then make sure that you save in, after you've done this, there's now one more thing that you need to do. And that is that when they send this message or they send a message, they respond to this message, and the message does not contain what it's supposed to. That is, they copied this and then they add their name. What you want to do is that you want to create another response, right? A submenu. Let me save this first, right? Let me drag this to the top. All right. So drag this to the top, and then I want to have this. I want to have a response that would say something. I would put this to all. Make sure that it's on exact match, not anything else. Make sure it's on exact match. I say, follow the instruction I sent and that's all. So now what does this do? You might be asking. This is very, 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 very simple, right? And it is that when somebody, let me test this for you so that you guys will see. When somebody whose contact is not saved on your phone sends you this message and they say, hello, hold on, instead of me doing, let me just copy this instead. So now, when they send this, the response they're going to get is going to be that, hold on, did I say this well? Specific contacts. Is this. All right, all right. So the message that they're going to get, hold on, this is not triggering. What's going on? All right, let's try again. All right, all right. I think I figured out the problem. So let me try again. All right then. So when I send this message, right, and I put this right here without adding a name to it, and I send it, see, it says follow the instruction and you get the link. Let me just put this to random so we don't have to continue. Right. Send this. See something that says, hey there, you're supposed to add your name after my name is, which is after my name is here, right? Can you copy the message you sent and add your name to it so that you can get responded to accordingly? So now let's just say that this person that receives this message is the classical goat, right? That means that the person knows the hear word, right? And then they start saying something like, I don't have time, or something like that, or something silly, just saying something like that. They would get this message which says follow the instruction and get the link. They keep sending very, very silly messages. They would keep on getting this same message that is here that will tell them that they should follow the instructions that you sent and they will get a link. Do you understand? So now, what will now happen if the person now finally decides that they want to be smart and add their name? What will happen is that the response is going to now trigger as it's supposed to initially. Do you understand? Which is going to now say, hello, Victor, nice having you here. Before I send you the link, blah, 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 blah. And then the contact will now say normally as it's supposed to. You get. So for you, it saves you, see, Victor has been saved. For you, this saves you a lot of stress when it comes to handling people, because a lot of people might just come in and they will not send this message, right? And you will now have to be the one that will be asking them to put their name. And sometimes it will not even be silly for you to ask them to put their name, or they are going to send this message and then they are now going to put their name after, like they will send this message and they will now send their name after, like Victor after, Jay gets, you send Victor after, and then they will expect you, because you've sent it together, like you, because they will expect you to be the one to read and save their contact, which obviously is a very, very silly thing to expect. Like, do you know how many people are saying the same word that you are saying? Jay gets now. So you don't want to be the one to be going through this and having to send them. And now you see that the last one I did, like if I should send another message, it's not going to respond again, guys, because it's only going to stop at this point. If you now want to make it super, super annoying, guys, if you want to make it super annoying, you can do one more thing, right? And this thing is going to be that you come to the message, the rule right here. When you come here to the submenu, you go to the bottom, and then you now click on go to rule, then you leave it at previous, then you save this message. Do you understand? So you guys should watch carefully what's going to happen now. Now I'm going to switch this to random name, right? Don't worry, if you just joined and you're lost, don't worry, you will find yourself inside of the what's it called? Inside of the replay. Just chill. You find yourself inside of the replay. So let's put this to a random name, and now let's paste the message. And let's send it. So now it says the regular message that they are supposed to blah, blah, blah. The person says their name is Victor. They are not going to get this message. So now let's say the person keeps sending this message. Hold on, let me turn off this rule. One of these rules I have here is 3 is affecting my current mom. Where is it? This is it. So let me continue, Jerry. Sorry about that. Now let's say I send this message, right? To tell me that I'm supposed to send the message, blah blah. The person says their name as being Victor. Tell them to follow the instructions. Say, yeah, my name is Victor, whatever bullshit they want to do. Name is Victor. Right. The thing that will happen is that they will keep getting this same message forever and ever till eternity. They will keep getting this message. So Jesus comes, they will keep getting this message. So if you know that you want to be this kind of person, you can't do it. But if you want to, you can just stop at this particular first message. You get this is just something that you can do. You know, it's not off the table. You can do it if you want to. I'm not saying you should do it, but if you want to, you can do it. So that way, the person will just keep getting this particular message forever and ever until they decide that they need to grow some sense and add their name to the message. So once they now decide to do that and they decide this message, it's going to respond to them as it is supposed to, do you understand? And then save their contacts. Sure you get now. So that is what I covered today. So Jesus comes. That's what I covered today. And you see, God has been saved. And once you do that, you know that you've saved yourself the headache of having to deal with a lot of people when they come into your WhatsApp. You don't have to deal with any of those things. So tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about how you can automate every other thing apart from what's one I told you about, of the conversation aspects, you know, getting them you get about getting them to follow a certain set of conversations, how you automate every single aspect that you've already listed out inside of the assignment. Please do the assignment, because if you don't, it will show tomorrow and you start asking me silly questions. I'm not going to answer you. So please and please do what I told you to do. And if you run into any questions or anything, you can just ask me following what I already said today, and you'll be able to get a very, very coherent answer. So let me look at the questions. Yes, there is going to be a replay. I will need to download. Yes, you have to download autoresponder for WhatsApp. Let's see. She said if the person is interested in the offer and they have not for that particular one, there is a way around it. So what you can do is that you can create an if statement. If you're a programmer, you probably already know what the if statement is. So the if statement is just going to go this way, is that if the contact is saved, right, it's okay. Now you are not going to do it on autoresponder. So what we are going to do, if the person is already saved and you still want it to be able to respond to them, all you need to do is just come here, and then instead of putting specific contacts, just remove this part. So that means that even if the contact is saved, and even if they are not saved, it's going to respond to them. You get, as long as they trigger this message. You get. And once you have done that, the next thing that you want to do is that you want to go to tasker, right? So now instead of these rules, you now want to add something called an if statement. So the if statement is going to just say that if the contact starts from a letter, you need to learn regex, obviously. So if it is a word that is a alphabetical word, it is going to do nothing. That means it's not going to try to save the contacts. But if it is if it starts with a plus, right, as we did here, it's going to save the contacts. So that is going to be, there's going to be two different things. The first one is going to be an if, right? So that means if sender is equals to value matches regex, right? And it is matches regex to W, right? So X matches W, then if else and if. All right. Right. So this is what's going to happen. So if it matches a word, it is not going to do anything. But if it does not match a word and it matches a number, a plus, is going to trigger this one. So you get, so that's basically what is going to happen. So if the contact is saved on your phone already, it is not going to save the contact, because if you use this particular rule, right, it's going to save the contact as the person's name, right? It's going to save the parent contact as the person's name, and it's not going to change the way that I save the contact. Well, I don't think, let me see if I can explain to you. Let me see if I can show you what I'm trying to say. Let me show you what I'm trying to say. So now let's see here. This right here is the rule, and it has the specific contacts. So let's say I remove this, right? And I send the message, and I had Victor there. Bear in mind that this is still autoresponder. Can you see that this is still autoresponder? Let me change this to Rasputia. Let me change to Rasputia. So now, when this contact is saved, when this contact gets saved, I'm going to see that it's going to get saved, right? So now, if I'm to go and check my contacts for Rasputia, I'm going to see the way is going to get saved. Let me just search for Rasputia. So you see that there is Rasputia here, but when it comes to the phone number, you see that the phone number shows autoresponder. Can you see? Can you see that the phone number shows autoresponder? Instead of showing the phone number of the person, it shows autoresponder. And if you click on autoresponder, it's not going, there's no number for autoresponder. So that's what I'm talking about. So once you have the if else statement, it's going to just ignore, that is not going to do anything when the number is already saved, which is what I'm talking about. So with that said, we can call this a day. Let me see, do I have any? Okay, I've answered this. I have some rules. Basically, pattern matching. It depends on what you want to trigger, but for this one that I'm explaining right here, Salako, it is not going to trigger because that's not what it is that we are trying to do. Amaka says we need to download the app of Responder. Yes, you need to. Please come again with assignments. Okay, I think I've already covered everything. Can we see the app of contacts task? Yes, you can. This is contacts task. This this one right here. So if a phone got restriction, how do we fix it? If your phone has a restriction, obviously you can't fix it. You have to buy a better phone. You get, you have to buy a better phone. So you can't really fix that unless you change your phone. You get. So, but I understand that this restriction is something that affects quite a lot of people, because I drive a lot of leads also, and I notice that a lot of them, not some, have phones that have this sort of restrictions, and you can't really blame the phone manufacturers. They are trying to sell phones as cheap as possible, so they try to start removing all sort of features, and they think that most people are not going to use. Well, the share your screen message. Please share your screen message complete. Maybe your screen. Oh, this is a widget. It's a widget that has the word money love speed. It's not a what Android phone. The Android phone that you use doesn't really matter that much. You can use an Infinix Techno. You can use an Infinix Techno. I personally, I use a Xiaomi, right? And I would use a Xiaomi. I use a Xiaomi because it is one of the best Android devices when it comes to using automation, right? No, you can't. And wait, I don't understand. Steven, you want to use laptop for automation. How? How do you want to do that? Do you want to control your phone with your laptop, right? Um, control your phone with your laptop. If yes, yes, you can do that. Or you can't set up automation with your laptop. No, you can't. And for the Android phones, you can use any Android phones, but for your own sanity, I'd advise you that you use an Android phone that has more than 4 GB RAM, right? And you can use autoresponder on it. So you get, if it is lower than 4 GB RAM, yes, it will still work. Just watch the video that I told you to watch, and you should be able to find your way around it. This particular video right here, you should be able to find your way around it. So you get. Samsung, yes, Samsung is nice, but personally, I'm not going to buy a Samsung phone because it's kind of I'll still rather stick with a Xiaomi phone, me personally. All right, Infinix Note 11, but the responder works and stops working. Yes, Aquila, yeah. The video that I have right here will solve your problem forever. So say thank you later when you are done. Recommendation, I don't have a recommendation for you guys. I don't know I don't know the amount of money you guys have. So some of you guys might be rich kids, some of you guys might not be rich kids. So shall buy a phone that has more than 4 GB RAM and you can use autoresponder on it. So that's all. What phone am I using? I'm using a Redmi Note 10 Pro, right? I'm using a Redmi Note 10 Pro. Apart from autoresponder and contact tasker, what's my YouTube handle? My YouTube handle is Victor James Ladipo. My YouTube name is Victor James Ladipo. How do I pay for Tasker and autoresponder? Yes, to pay for these applications, it has now become a problem. You can try to use your, what's it called? Your Naira card. But if it does not work, right? If it does not work, then you would want to use applications that are cheaper. If you have, just get their virtual dollar card and you use the cheaper to, download, to work, to pay for it. But the only but is that it's going to charge you in dollars. So you get. So now the 1,470 that you're supposed to pay on a normal day will now become 3.1 something dollars, which is like 2,000 or 1,000. I think it's like 2,000, close to 3,000 naira. So you get, so that is the only downside that comes with paying for your stuff in dollars, because the money that you're going to pay is not going to be charged in dollars. So that's the only problem there. Apart from that, if you can use that, you are going to be able to pay for the applications without having to stress so much to pay for the application. So yes, what else? Is the class recorded? Yes, it is. What's brand of my phone? I've answered all of these questions. So with that said, I would have to call this, I have the mode version of Tasker. You have the modded version of Tasker. Hey, yeah. See, Clement is not going to work. You have to pay for Tasker. The people that develop the application on Tasker, they are very, very smart people. So if you like, if you want to, you can mod all of the applications that you want to. But you see Tasker, you can't do it. Well, you can try. Why not? You can try. Try. But I'm going to tell you now, it's not going to work. I don't know, I'll go and pay for Tasker. If you don't pay for any application, just pay for Tasker. Because 1,470 or 2,000 naira is not too much. Like, at least it's not too much. The task I gave to you guys, let me put the task inside of this particular, hold on, let me look for it. Okay, I've seen it. All right, so let me just put it here. So this is going to be all right. So let me change this to everyone. Anyone. Ziba farm. Ziba farm. Save this and then let me put this to anyone with the link. Copy the link. Let's put this to done. All right. So
those who are watching as a replay, we'll put the link in a button under the video so you can click on it easily.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I think I've answered all of the questions and I've shared the link also. So the link is inside of the meeting, is inside of the chat. So click on it and you get access to everything that I mentioned. All right, I can already see you guys jumping in. Yes, cool. So that's going to be that for this session. I wanted to just take 2 hours, but now this is 2 hours and 36 minutes. Thank you very much for this.